Fred and Sheila McCoy, Hatfield McCoy Museum, Liberty, Kentucky, fredmccoy.com. Just going to make a short video right now. In fact, we got a couple of videos to make in reference to different things we've seen. This is going to be a segment of keeping it real. And keeping it real, anybody that knows what we do there is where somebody's told us something, we've seen something, heard something, or saw something on YouTube or what's that called?
TikTok or something?
TikTok, yeah. Or we've saw something there and we're here to correct it, or at least give you our side of it, which is usually the correct side. Nah, not always, but we try to make sure before we do keeping it real that we are correct. And these are some things now, we're getting down to minute things to some people, but it doesn't matter if it's minute to some. It's history, and as long as it's out there, we don't care if they view it now or 20 years from now. At least there'll always be something that will correct it. And I'm definitely not, Sheila and I, we're going to take a different approach to all this stuff now, or I am, as far as taking it so personal on these corrections. So, but I do have to name the person that's got the correction here, and that's going to be the Hatfield McCoy Museum, Home Place Museum, which is Jack Hatfield and Sarah Ann, and he's got the home place there. I'll give him a plug while we're at it. He's got the Vances Hatfield home place. He's got a little museum set up there and gives some history of it and so forth like that. But he's also got a Facebook page, and that's where we're going to make our correction, guys. In all the years, of course, everybody knows who that man right there is. That's Randall McCoy. And Jack's got a thing on his Facebook page, and he says Randall McCoy, and he's got these two pictures. Guys, as long as we've been doing research on the Hatfield McCoy feud and the participants and the families and different things, that's the first time we've ever seen that picture produced. I don't know who that is, and if it is a picture of Randall McCoy, which it's not, I won't even elaborate. But if it is, or if Jack thinks it is, then please show proof. Instead of just showing pictures like this and saying Randall McCoy on the page, that's what confuses people. And that's not Randall McCoy, or it's never been produced in all the history of Randall McCoy's pictures. And I think what they're trying to do there is Randall McCoy was always, he had a vest on or a suit or whatever, and he only got 3 or 4 pictures. And they're trying to compare to Devil Anse, to the hillbilly figure that gave us the nickname Hillbilly, all those in Appalachia. But if there is some significance to this, when you post pictures like this on a page, it'd be nice if a person would put where they got it and who it was and why they're saying that for. Because when people goes on Facebook and they just see them pictures and then they're writing a book or doing something, they say, hey, I'll put that in my book, and the next thing you know, that picture right there is in a book, which some people don't mind that happening, especially if it's on poor old Randall McCoy. Also, while I was on there, I went to Jack's timeline of history. This is on his foundation page. It's not hard to find. I'll tell you, you'll also find, I don't want to elaborate on it. I don't want to really go into it, but also on there you'll find a topic that we were discussing a while back concerning a gentleman and his military service. And it's got the same thing on there. Not only does it have it on his company bio, but he's on the board of directors of this museum, and it's got the same served in the Vietnam War on that topic. So I'm not going to go into that. We've covered that. We've no need beating a dead horse. But that just tells me that the company that he worked for didn't post that bio. That bio actually came from the person, which is what I kind of thought the entire time. And now the same bio is on Jack Hatfield's Museum Foundation website. So, but I found this timeline interesting, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
It's Hatfield McCoy history feud timeline, and it goes down there, it's telling all about the feud and stuff. Then it gets down here to the modern era. The modern era, 2000. Cousins Bo and Ron McCoy organized the Hatfield McCoy Reunion Festival. The first time they've had it in Pikeville, and 5,000 family members in the area. News of the event carried. Associated Press. Again, it's not hard to get in the news. You can take hostages and get in the news. My point on this here is, the reason I'm covering it is, if you'll look right here, it goes from 2000 to 2003. Businessman Rio Hatfield partners with McCoy cousins to sign Hatfield-McCoy truce in Pikeville in an effort to promote unity, demonstrate the power of forgiveness, and aftermath of 9/11. I'm not going to get into all that, but it goes from 2000 to 2003. From 2000 to 2003. Hope my fingernails are clean. We've been working around the museum here. So.
Yeah, we're trying to fix everything up.
From 2000 to 2003. What happened in 2001? What happened in 2002? Why isn't that on there? Hatfield-McCoy history, modern era. That was 2 big years for the Hatfields and McCoys. Not Kentucky Hatfields and McCoys, not anybody local. It was a big deal for Ron McCoy from Durham, North Carolina, and Bo McCoy from Waycross, Georgia. It was a big year, and it had nothing to do with the Hatfields and McCoys. It had to do with the McCoys and the Vances. Because in 2001, Ron McCoy and Bo McCoy from other states, nothing to do with around here, they filed a lawsuit against John and Barbara Vance. Now, we've done 2 or 3 videos extensively and covers them well. If you want to watch that and see how dirty these 2 men treated this old man and woman, just go watch those videos and it'll tell you a lot about their character. But in 2001, they filed a lawsuit against John and Barbara Vance. They wanted to take a tourism bus up to their property and turn it around and let people view the grave sites of the McCoys that he inherited when he bought that property. That was 2001. What happened in 2002? The judge ruled on it. Went to court and they ruled on it. And they ruled that John Vance, it's his property. He can do with it what he wants. Now, Ron McCoy once again had all over the newspaper. It's the first, and in his book, that he had no intentions of ever writing or getting publicity, he said, but that was the whole thing behind it. In his book, he says that first time that the Hatfields and McCoys were back in court in years. Hatfields and McCoys were not back in court. The McCoys and the Vances were in court, but it sounded better when you say Hatfields and McCoys. John Vance was not a Hatfield, he was a Vance. So what happened in 2002, the judge ruled on it. John Vance is in charge of his property. John Vance says people can come visit. Now, instead of coming anytime you want to, come visit the cemetery once a year. And they call it the Forbidden Cemetery. Some people on YouTube does. They've nicknamed it the Forbidden Cemetery. It's forbidden because of Ron and Bo McCoy and their selfishness and greediness and trying to take a man's property. So I'm not going to elaborate on it a whole lot. We've got videos on it, and I don't want to get sarcastic about it. I think it was one of the dirtiest things that's ever been done. These 3 gentlemen right here, between Rio starting to tell on Hubert Bay McCoy and Ron and Bo McCoy filing a lawsuit against John and Barbara Vance. And I see on Facebook where John Vance is in bad health right now. I wish him the best, Sheila and I do.
Yeah. Say a prayer for him.
He's really been good to us. He's him and his wife both. We never had a problem ever going up there before this lawsuit was filed, and it was just a dirty thing. But here's you once again of something that Hatfield McCoy history feud timeline modern era, but yet it goes from 2000 to 2003. Okay. 2001, 2002 left out. I don't know if you guys find that funny or not. I do. So, and suspicious. So, call it like we say it. This is another segment of Keeping It Real. It's Fred and Sheila McCoy.
Hi, Allie.
Hello, Billy.
We thought
Alrighty.
you would like this.
Sheila, you got something to say?
Okay, guys, please like, subscribe, and share, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you. Bye.